So today we're going to view some HMO properties 2-hour drive away from where I am. It's the first HMOs that I've looked at. They sound good, so let's see what they look like. So we've just had a look at the properties, met the landlord, met the estate agent, and well, where do I start? So firstly, I can't actually show you any of the footage because there were still tenants in the rooms. We was made aware that they would actually be leaving so we could see all of the rooms, but that wasn't the case. But that's by the by, it is one of them things. We're in unprecedented times, so it's not always easy for people to leave their house. So we understand that. Now, on paper, these properties look fantastic. There was 3 properties in total. The first property was a 6-bedroom terraced house, really lovely features, and was up for £220,000. Second property was a 5-bed, which was up for £180,000, and the third property on the same road was a 5-bed up for £200,000. Now these properties are in Suffolk, so nice little location, and combined the total rental income gross is £75,000 per annum. So the yield overall is between 11 and 12%. That's pretty good. So we've driven 2 hours to see these properties. On all of the properties, we couldn't get in all of the rooms, and when we walked into the properties as well, some of the things that we saw with the carpets are in dire condition. The kitchens, well, to be fair, you wouldn't want to make a sandwich in that kitchen. Not great. Now, I know this is common in a lot of HMOs, especially in communal areas, but for us, looking at the figures and an investment, initially looked really great, but you would need to spend quite a bit of money. I would say between £5,000 to £10,000 on each property to get them to a reasonable standard. There were some cracks in the walls. They could be cosmetic, but it would be a matter of getting a surveyor in and having a real look. When you go back to the numbers, drilling down the numbers, remember this is a business. It just didn't really stack up. Number one, the properties had tenants in already, so they were happy with the standard of how they were living and how the landlord runs the property, which is fine for some people. So not for us today, a real shame, but it's actually triggered a conversation for myself and one of the local agents and the local council about switching a property which is currently one residential home, maybe a 4 or 5 bedroom, how easy it is to actually convert that into a HMO ourselves. So we need to do a little bit more digging. We've been told under good faith that it's quite easy to switch it in this particular area to a HMO because the market hasn't been swamped like in other areas of the country with HMOs. So this could be a good starting point for us of not inheriting any existing landlord problems, not inheriting any existing property problems, with a blank canvas with a property and looking at the demands and needs of a tenant. So whether that's off-street parking, whether that's a garden area, etc. So we'll have a tick list that we can look at to try and get the highest rent per month, but also to have long-term tenants because the property is going to be kept nicer and in a better condition. So all in all, the round trip of 4 hours, it wasn't successful with them 3 properties, but it has opened our eyes as investors with HMOs of what can actually be achieved, because we didn't realise that we could actually switch these properties to HMOs and do it ourselves. So that could be a real game changer, and we will feel like we're in more control. Just be mindful with HMOs that you need to check that the purchase price you're potentially buying the property for isn't inflated because of the rental income that it achieves. Always buy the property for what it's worth. The rental income should be a bonus. So don't fall into that trap of overpaying and at the end of the day, it needs to survey up. So this is a real life video of my journey on property investment. I hope you find it a little bit helpful and a little bit of an insight. If you enjoyed the video, send us a like. Don't forget to subscribe, and see you in the next video.